Most people think self-compassion means being soft on yourself. It doesn't. In fact, if your version of self-compassion is making your life worse, then you're not actually practicing self-compassion at all. You're practicing self-sabotage with a nice spiritual bow on top. Today, I'm going to show you the difference between true self-compassion, which actually transforms your life, and self-indulgence, disguised as kindness, which keeps you stuck exactly where you are. Because there's a massive difference between loving yourself and letting yourself off the hook. And if you've been wondering why being nicer to yourself isn't creating the change that you want, then this is the episode for you. I'm your host, Daniel James, a mindset and high performance coach, and my mission is simple. I want to give you the information that I wish that I'd had sooner to help you wherever you are on your journey. So true self-compassion isn't about letting yourself off the hook. It's holding yourself accountable from a place of love, not hatred. Most people swing from harsh criticism straight into self-indulgence, and they call it self-compassion. But real self-compassion means caring enough about your future self to do the hard things today, whilst speaking to yourself with kindness throughout the process. Now, I know what you're thinking. Well, that sounds great in theory, but how do I actually tell the difference? When I'm at the gym, just wanting to skip leg day, to then actually eating a packet of biscuits. How do I know if I'm being genuinely compassionate or just making excuses? And this is where most people get stuck. The voice of self-indulgence and the voice of self-compassion can sound remarkably similar in your head. They both use words like kindness, understanding, and what I need right now is. But there are three clear ways to spot the difference. 3 tests that will instantly reveal whether you're about to make a loving choice or a self-sabotaging choice. And once you learn these, you'll never confuse self-compassion with self-indulgence again. So let's dive straight in. Now, the first one is about standards. Self-compassion has standards. Self-indulgence doesn't. Real self-compassion sounds like I love myself enough to keep this commitment, even though I don't feel like it right now. Whereas self-indulgence sounds like I need to be kind to myself, so I'll skip the gym today. Self-compassion includes boundaries, because someone who truly loves themselves and loves you, not just about loving themselves, loves you, someone that truly loves you wouldn't let you sabotage your own goals. And getting the life you want isn't easy because it's not meant to be. If getting the life that you want was easy, every single person would have their dreams, but it's not. Getting what you want is about doing the things you know you need to do when you don't feel like doing it. That's the key. And being kind to yourself and keeping to your promises. When you make a promise to yourself, as we discussed last week, it's about keeping those promises. And as Dumbledore famously said, do what's right, not what is easy. Because doing what's right will always lead you down a path that you can look yourself in the mirror knowing you did the right thing. Because oftentimes the easy route isn't the right thing. We'll dive into that later on. Now, the second way is the loving parent versus the permissive parent test. So ask yourself, if I had a child, which some of you may actually do, so if you do, imagine you're speaking to your child, but if not, imagine you had a child that you deeply loved. Would you let them behave in the way that you're acting? Because a loving parent has bedtimes, healthy boundaries, and expectations, not because they're mean, but because they care about the child's well-being, not just in the moment, but in the long run. Whereas permissive parents let their kids do whatever they want and they call it love. But it actually harms the development of the child in the long run. It's looking at the bigger picture, not what's easy in the moment. So, giving the child whatever they want, yes, it may make them happy and it may make your life easier, but it's actually not teaching the child about how the world works and the value of things. So, again, it's asking yourself that same thing. What would you say to a child? What would you let your child do? Are you giving them that easy fix in the moment, but actually long term is going to mess them up? Is that what you're doing to yourself? Are you giving yourself that get out of jail free card right now? Actually, long term, it's going to cause you more damage. And this then ties into the final way, and that is explanation versus excuse and knowing the difference. Because self-compassion acknowledges why something happened without using it as a reason to avoid responsibility. It's saying things like, I didn't go to the gym because I'm genuinely exhausted from working overtime. Let me reschedule for tomorrow and look at my workload. You can see there that there's clearly an explanation, but more importantly, there is a solution. They're explaining it to themselves in a way that's actually logical. It makes sense. I'm exhausted from working overtime. I don't normally do this, but actually today I've worked overtime and it's wiped me out. So let me look at tomorrow and make sure I can fit it in there. Solution. Rather than just sacking it off, which kind of looks like this. I didn't go anywhere because I'm tired. So I'll be kind to myself and not worry about it. Okay. As we'll see here, there's an excuse. I didn't go there, I didn't go to the gym, didn't go out, whatever it was, but we use it as an excuse. I'm tired. Okay, well, when was the last time you weren't tired? When was the last time you weren't tired? If you are over the age of 30 listening to this, you probably wake up every day tired, even if you get a full good night's sleep. But they're using an excuse and then an avoidance. We're saying, oh, I'll be kind to myself. I'm just not going to worry about it. Okay, now it's not going to be a problem today, but it might be tomorrow. And we can see how this excuseitis kicks in, and then we never actually end up doing the thing that we said we were going to do, because we can pretty much justify anything to ourselves. But once again, as we just discussed, it's doing what is right in the long run and not what is easy in the short run. Excuses are easy. Anyone can make an excuse. And if you aren't where you want to be right now, it's probably because you've been making excuses. And I know because I've been there. I lived pretty much my entire life making excuses, talking myself out of things that I know I should do. So a little takeaway for next week. This week, before you use self-compassion to avoid a commitment, ask yourself, is this what someone who truly loves me would encourage me to do? And if the answer is no, do the loving thing and speak to yourself kindly whilst you do it. And if you need to, screenshot the question, I'll pop it on the screen here, and save it maybe to your phone wallpaper if you need that daily reminder. Do what is right, not what is easy. If you've taken any value from today's episode, don't forget to like and share it with a friend. Until next time, take it easy.